Ladies and gentlemen, it is 6 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is officially called to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Eves.
Present.
Trustee Lilly. Trustee Dunlap. Present. Trustee Blakey.
Present.
Trustee Clark.
Present.
Trustee Marshall.
All right. Is there anyone here tonight that is interested in addressing the board? If so, please stand. Mr. Caldwell.
Administrators, board, honorable mayor. Yes, I ride through Wellington Court and, I see the stop signs. And I noticed that, stop sign on Queens Bridge, Preston Lane and the median, and Preston Lane and Billstone, Preston Lane and even the median on Torrance. And Billstone and Torrance, over the years, for some reason, they crook it off maybe about 10 degrees. Instead of, I noticed coming up Lynwood Drive Road towards the village, the speed limit signs and other signs, they're straight. Of course, they would be straight. And that's to our credit. And, going through pristine development such as Wellington Court, we just ask that the Public Works come through there and straighten those signs up real nicely. Because, when I look out my front window, I live right on the corner, and see that crooked sign every morning. I'm going to work and coming back. I think we're better than that.
Okay.
And that's all I wanted to say, and I appreciate the time you're giving to speak. Thank you.
Not a problem. I'll get Public Works out there this week.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else here tonight that is interested in addressing the board? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes dated September 13th, 2022?
Motion. So moved.
Motion by Clark. Is it supported?
Supported.
Supported by Dunlap. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries. We'll now move on to our standing committee reports, starting with Public Works and Trustee Dunlap.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Public Works Department for their work for the event on Sunday, getting the streets ready and all of that, and their diligence that day. By October 10th, we'll be fully staffed at Public Works. We hired a new person. The new signs have all been put up to welcome to Lynwood. They're going to be bordered out, and some foliage and red rock will be put in there to make them a little stand out a little bit more. And that's the end of my report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Economic Development, Trustee Blakey.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a few things here. On Sunday, our entire village board was on hand for the groundbreaking of the Equestrian University that is coming here to the village of Lynwood. When I say the entire village board, I mean also all of our police and fire officers were on hand. Everyone was there to celebrate what is happening in the village of Lynwood. This Equestrian University is going to bring international attention to the village of Lynwood like never before, and it's going to also prompt additional economic development. So we were very happy not only to attend, but we're very happy for the prospects that it's going to bring to the village of Lynwood. Tomorrow at 12:30 will be the Lynwood Chamber of Commerce meeting. That's going to be held at the HGP events at 2551 Glenwood Lansing Road. At that meeting, Mayor Curry will be giving a State of the Village address. We're still anticipating the groundbreaking of Dunkin' Donuts on the corner of Torrance and Glenwood Dyer Road, as well as the Droid Company on the corner of Lincoln Highway and Salt Village. Both have received their MWRD permits and now are completing the processes for the EPA and for IDOT. As it was communicated at the last meeting, our entire village board, along with police and fire, I believe, no, just the village board, attended the IML conference. This is the Illinois Municipal League. One of the themes, well, not one of the themes, the theme of that conference was to educate, advocate, and empower communities to better serve the residents that we serve. One of the sessions that really stood out that was of benefit to the board in particular was a session called Retail Recruitment Through the Eyes of the Retailer. It was provided by and presented by Aaron Farmer, who is known as the Retail Coach. He talked about things like the trends in retail, smart incentives, new concepts for small and medium-sized communities, the expedience of the permitting and development process, accurate retail trade area determination, and available sites, and having a good demographics, a good understanding of the demographics and psychographics in your community, so that when you're appealing to retailers, those retailers can have all the information that we need. A lot of the information that was shared in that particular session, Mayor Curry has already put together, and we're going to be working together to make sure that it's not only on our website, but also so that we are aware of all of the different nuances, because when you think about retail, we have to think about it individually as opposed to collectively, because individual retailers may want to do individual things. Also at IML, it's important for me to thank Robinson Engineering for hosting us on that evening. Really appreciate the hosting that you did and that you've been doing for the last several years. And the last thing that stood out at IML was the importance of board cohesion. We attended another session, and one of the foremost topics was the discohesion or miscohesion on different boards throughout Illinois. And when you have that type of that lack of cohesion, very little can get done. We're pleased that we have a board that is working cohesively and has been working cohesively since we've been in office, and that is one of the primary reasons why we see a number of the things that are happening in the village of Lynwood the way that they're happening right now. That's all I have for economic development. Can I move on to community affairs?
Yes.
All right. Community affairs, we have the Lynwood Oktoberfest, which is happening this Saturday on October 1st in Liberty Park. More information about that will be found on the website. Again, on September 21st, the entire village board, as well as police and fire, were at Sandridge School in support of their unanimous vote to request the annexation of the school into the village of Lynwood, where they voted it unanimously. We were all on hand there to support that. We are going to support it wholeheartedly. They've already sent the first part of the paperwork that is to come to the village of Lynwood to us. They still have some other additional paperwork to get to us. But once that is done, that will be the first school in the village of Lynwood that we can call our own. And they have a goal of making that school a blue ribbon school within 5 years. And we're very proud and happy about that, not only about the board, but also about the new superintendent that is there. The last thing I have for community affairs is the How Can We Say Thanks Fall Challenge. It's the community challenge that we have every fall starting in November. There will be prizes for fall decorations of homes throughout the village, and more information will be found about that and given out about that as we get closer to that date. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Trustee Blakey,
Yes.
one thing I did want to share, I received an email from Duncan today.
Okay.
And just confirming that they have received all of their permits and they will be sending a construction start date, so.
Excellent.
So,
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All righty, Trustee Lilly is not with us today. Trustee Marshall.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I can make a motion on ordinance number 22-32, second read, action taken. An ordinance of the Village of Lynwood, Illinois, amending the code of the Village of Lynwood, Illinois, Chapter 114, zoning, Article 3, districts.
There's a motion. Is it supported?
Supported.
Supported by Clerk. Attorney Boyle?
Yes, thank you. This is a second read on the ordinance that you considered at your September 13th meeting. If adopted, it would establish a heavy manufacturing zoning district for the village, not in any particular area, just the requirements for the village to designate a certain property, if need be in the future, as suitable for a heavy manufacturing use.
Thank you. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion on ordinance 22-33, second read, action taken. An ordinance of the Village of Lynwood, Illinois, amending the official zoning map of the Village of Lynwood, Illinois.
There's a motion. Is it supported?
Supported.
Supported by, motion by Marshall, supported by Eves. Attorney Boyle?
Yes, this is a second read on an ordinance you first considered again at the September 13th meeting. If adopted, it would update your district zoning map by designating the property that was recently annexed into the village on Joe Orr Road, just on the other side of the overpass, for the logistics facility. Peter Minchin, I think, is the owner's name. He's going to run a trucking business out of that property. So this ordinance would designate that property as being zoned for a B3 use.
Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark. Yes. Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. There are no ordinances. We'll move on to health and wellness.
Health and wellness. Okay, September National Awareness Month. There are several. National Recovery Month. If you're having issues falling off the wagon or can't get someone to stop doing the things that you shouldn't be doing, you can definitely go to Faces and Voices of Recovery.org. They have programs there. It's National Little League Month, National Gynecological Cancer Awareness Month, National Childhood Cancer and Obesity Month, National Baby Safety Month, and I believe our esteemed officer Larry was helping put in those car seats and passing them out. Wonderful thing. National Square Dance Month, National Courtesy Month, and Hispanic Heritage Month. Health and Wellness is going to present, we've got one of our people here, a glowing bike around Lynwood. That's October 8th, second Saturday. Please come out, bring your bikes, you too, bring your lights and your glow gear, and we're gonna have fun. It's gonna start about 6:30 and the bike pushes off about 7:30. Someone asked the question about how far it is. So for kids and those who are challenged, we're gonna do a 1.1 mile. And for those like this man here who loves to ride, we're gonna do another 3.4 miles, so it'll be a total of 4-point-something miles. And if you would like to sign up, call the village at 708-758-6101. You can sign up all the way until October 4th. And while we're there, if you sign up, we'll be giving out glow necklaces and bracelets, valve stems for the bike, and things like that. There are two phases of the rides. Again, there's a kids phase and a slow lane and elderly slow lane ride, and then for those who like to get their groove on. I do want to continue to say 988 is a national suicide prevention lifeline. So if you have anyone who may be going through something or a veteran, please have them reach out because they have someone there 24 hours a day. We had an incident here in the village with a person who tried to off herself, and our fire and police department saved her. But I think if people know about this number, please tell your friends that sometimes these things can be prevented. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Finance, Trustee Eves.
Good evening, Madam Mayor.
Good evening.
Board, Residents. Motion to approve bill payment memo 1455, total amount of $353,124.89. which includes payroll for the period of September 4th through September 17th, 2022, in the total amount of $148,888.37.
There's a motion. Is it supported?
Supported.
Motion by Eves, supported by Dunlap. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Madam Mayor, I do have additional information I would like to share with the residents. The Cook County Promise Guaranteed Income Pilot Program will open up October 6th through October 21st. This is the largest publicly funded guaranteed income program in the United States. The county will provide 500 additional unrestricted cash payments to 3,250 households for 2 years. Recipients will be selected by lottery. This money can be used any kind of way, groceries, whatever you need, and you do not have to account for it. In order to apply, you should visit the website, which is www.engagecookcounty.com/promise, and sign up for email listings to receive more additional information and be notified when the application actually opens, which is slated for October 6th. The pilot is open to all regardless of citizenship, and they do not ask for citizenship or immigration status as part of the application. I also would like to share that the tax rebate payments began September 12th for millions of Illinois. The rebate payments, which will take at least 8 weeks to be issued in total, will be sent automatically to Illinois residents who filed 2021 state income taxes and claimed a property tax credit. Those who have not filed as of yet can still access the rebates after completing additional filing. Last but not least, the financial literacy program for grades 9th through 12th will start on October 22nd. Deadline to sign your student up is October 14th. We are accepting students no matter where you live. If you want to learn about financial literacy, please come and see us. And to jumpstart our fundraising for our 2023 scholarship, we will be selling raffle tickets at the Oktoberfest this Saturday, October 1st. It will be a split the pot raffle. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Public Safety, Trustee Marshall.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. While I have nothing on the agenda, I guess it is part of public safety. Kelly Miller came to address the board at the last meeting about the 2 pieces of land that's not owned by the village of Lynwood. The grass was kind of tall. But from a public safety perspective, I watch fox, I watch coyotes, deer. They just run across the street like it's a playground. Well, Public Works came out and took care of all of it, and Kelly Miller couldn't make it tonight, so he texted me and made me want to make sure to tell you thank you, thank you, thank you. You can see clear out to Torrance now with no obstruction, so he wanted to make sure I extended that thank you. And that's all I have.
All right. Tell him it was our pleasure. All right. We'll now move on to our department head reports, beginning with Police, Assistant Chief of Police, Robin Boldy.
Yes, Madam Mayor. On 8:30, Lynwood police officers were dispatched to the area of 3142 Lincoln Highway in reference to an accident. Upon their arrival, they observed a female lying in the eastbound lanes. Bud's ambulance and the Cook County coroner arrived a short time later, at which time the female was pronounced deceased at the scene. Several calls had been made to dispatch, but the unknown suspect vehicle fled the scene prior to our arrival. After numerous hours of continuous work, Detective Sergeant Dave Osis, Officer Aaron Lanting, and Detective Stevie Bradich were able to identify the fleeing vehicle and locate the driver. The driver has been since then charged with a level 1 felony for leaving the scene of an accident causing death with the $50,000 surety bond. This was literally a case of finding a needle in a haystack. and that's exactly what our officers did. Commendations will be given in the near future. I had the honor of being invited to Living Grace Church this past Saturday to speak to the group of female teenagers called Girls on Fire. There was a total of 18 girls present, and I shared some of my own life experiences, which led me to where I am today. They had feedback and questions regarding female issues such as teenage pregnancy and life in general. I'll be attending more of their meetings to hopefully be a positive influence and advocate for these young ladies. Commander Hernandez and Sergeant Sporowski also attended Living Grace Church this past Saturday and spoke to the male youth called Boys to Men. Their conversations were focused on young men and their relationships with the police. Stats for the past 2 weeks: domestic-related calls 9, traffic stops 69, premise of building checks 114, 9 arrests, and 54 citations. Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, Village of Lynwood Police Department, as well as our Lynwood Police Department Instagram page. And that concludes my report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I attended TF South College and Career Fair last week. This is really well received by the students and staff, so hopefully we get some nice young recruits in the near future. I attended Bloom Trail today for another traffic stop safety class for driver's ed, and I will be attending Bloom High School as well on October 4th. And then the Chiefs and I attended a senior bingo event on 9/19. We spoke with the residents and reminded them that our senior luncheon is on October 15th at Lencioni's from noon to 2 p.m. This event is sponsored by NICOR, who will also provide a brief presentation. So that concludes my report, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Yes. So first I'll go over the call volume for September 4th, 2022 through the 17th. We had a total of 61 calls. 47 of those calls were medical. We had 1 motor vehicle accident, 1 gas leak, 3 fire or false alarms, 2 carbon monoxide calls, and 2 times we were canceling a route to assist other agencies. Just to give an update, a staffing update, we have 2 people that are currently in the academy right now. Actually, those 2 are taking a state test as we speak right now. So we do wish them well. We are continually recruiting for new firefighters, so you must be able to pass a medical screening, a background screening, and agility test, and we'll put you through the academy and EMTB school. As a reminder that we have a residential smoke detector program. Again, this is for homes that are about 30 years age or older. We'll inspect and evaluate existing smoke detectors, and if need be, and if it's applicable, we'll go ahead and replace them with the state grant that we have. As a reminder, we have the fire open house, which will be on October 15th. That's a Saturday, I believe about 2.5 weeks. We'll have bouncy house for the kids, live burns, vehicle extrication, and hopefully a helicopter landing. So come check out the station, learn about more public fire safety and fire safety and community risk reduction, and just have some food and hang out at the station with us. That'll be from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. And lastly, just to let the village and the board know that the Lynwood Fire Department is celebrating 50 years of service to the village of Lynwood, so we appreciate that, and we're very, very thankful for that. And then lastly, the Lynwood First Responders Association, we had a softball tournament that was held last Saturday, September 17th, 2022. We had teams from Lynwood, Homewood, Hammond, Lansing, Cherville, Crestwood, and Mission 1. Lynwood did make third place. And we did generate proceeds at a total of $3,000, and we would like to present a check to Mission 1 Mayor. Gentlemen? Gentlemen, on behalf of the Lynwood First Responders Association and the Lynwood Fire Department, we'd like to present you this check for $3,000. And thank you for everything.
Well, we thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
You mean you can try to cash it? Hold it one second. Let me get you a picture.
have not heard of my foundation, we support veterans and first responders. We are going to support veterans a little bit heavier than we do first responders. Like I've told Matt, and how we will support fire departments is we have purchased helmets for departments who don't have it in their budget. So we will support them that way. Police, same way. Golf outings, fundraisers, we help them all. Veterans, our biggest donation is, we're on a path right now which is overwhelming. We were starting off with one vehicle, donating a vehicle to a veteran every year. We're up to 2 now. So we are on our 9th vehicle. And this is in 3 short years. So it's been overwhelming. We have vehicles that are donated to us, but then our funds, we buy them. So like I explained to the First Responders Association, this money is going towards the purchase of another vehicle for a veteran. So that's what we kind of do. We don't say no to any veteran, really. I've had people call me in the middle of the night wanting food for the next day, So we provide anything that we can for them. So you guys eat enough. I'm not going to provide food for you firefighters. So yes, so we do a lot for homeless vets. But the problem is, where are they? It's very hard to find the homeless vets, but we do have veteran housing throughout the area, region. If there are openings, we'll get them enrolled. So we do what we can. It's really a tough situation. I don't like providing a Band-Aid. I like to fix the solution. So by providing food for them and some shelter for a little bit isn't the solution. But we have put them up in hotel rooms for a couple weeks so they can get situated. So we do what we can. So it's very gratifying. No, thank you guys.
Thank you, Mayor. Like Trustee Blakey mentioned, thank you all for coming to our reception at the end of the IML conference. I know it's a long few days of classes and conferences and meetings, and we like to have all our clients, since they're already downtown, we really enjoy having you all come by, stop by for some refreshments. We were notified yesterday that the village was awarded $273,000 for roadway resurfacing. You might recall from the spring when we submitted the 2022 CDBG application. Robinson Engineering, I think we submitted about 15 of these for our client communities, and I think we only got 4 of them. So it looks like by the amount, maybe the county is doing less awards, but with more money. So it's great to be in that first round. Just to remind you, the streets that we submitted for are Park, Terrace, and Orchard between 198th and 201st. And like I said in previous meetings, if we're going to use about $550,000 of the Rebuild Illinois bond funds next year, that's a total of like $750,000 of paving at really no cost to the village itself. So congratulations. And that's the end of my report.
Ben, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Dave, I'm sorry. What is the criteria for, in your experience, what's the criteria for us receiving that money? Like, is it the paperwork that you provide, or is it paperwork that we provide? Why were we?
The main criteria is you're limited to census tracts that have low to moderate income of 51% or more. So the whole village of Lynwood is not eligible. So it's important to look at that map and find where it's needed. The quality of the application is pretty big. They want to make sure all the answers are correct and everything fits in with the county plan. And then, like you mentioned, they do look at the municipality's history with the program. So if you're late on reports or late on your drawdowns from previous years, that all counts against you. So the past couple of years when we've And I know it takes a long time to get that check once the work is done, but as long as you get all your paperwork in, you make sure your contractor is doing the payrolls and everything else correctly, it does go a long way in keeping that funding coming.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Yes, I only have one item, Madam Mayor. The number of permits issued between September 14th and September 27th were at a total of 22, with a total of $9,553.91, with a valuation of $210,186. That's the end of my report, Madam Mayor.
No report.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to report that Overland's tree planting event is scheduled for this Saturday, October 1st, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We will be going from house to house for those who had signed up for trees, receiving trees. We'll be going from home to home and planting trees. So volunteers are needed for that. Where is show up for volunteers? Sign up today. You can sign up, or you can call me. That concludes my report.
Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, I don't have a report. It's probably the first board meeting where I didn't really have a report. I do want to just say thank you to Dave for all of the hard work that he's done to make sure that we secure this funding. It really is going to help us with our continued beautification efforts. So you'll see more road repavements, more curbs, cleaned up, and we're going to do some special projects around the village in this upcoming year. So by the end of 2023, this village will look very different. So thank you, Dave. I want to thank this board and this team and our clerk. Really kind of piggybacks on what Trustee Blakey said. I was at a meeting earlier today, and I was listening to some of the challenges of other communities, and I'm so grateful to work with this team and to represent these residents. I believe, that we are really, really working together to do something beautiful and magical here in Lynwood. And it's not that we don't have our challenges, it's how we go about addressing our challenges that matters. So thank you all for being just great people to work with, and you make it worth it every single day. And that is all I have. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Everybody.
I'm going to say motion by Eves. Is it supported? Supported by Dunlap. Roll call.
Eves.
Yes.
Dunlap.
Yes.
Blakey.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marshall.
That motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming out tonight.